Hey, what's going on, guys? This is George D. Lopez, host of the Bigfoot Variety Show. This is a storyteller's channel where we talk about fiction, nonfiction, and a little bit of both. So today's first story, or the first story ever of my channel, is going to be about the haunting at my house. We have a resident ghost. His name is Bob. That's the name that my sister-in-law named him. But before we could go into all the different things that have happened to all the family members and guests of my home, I'm going to go over the layout of my home because it's important. So when you walk in, you have a huge open living room. On the north side wall of the living room, you have a fireplace. To the right, which is the east side of the house, that will be the kitchen. When you walk over to the west side of the house, you have a long, narrow hallway. At the end of the long, narrow hallway, we have a bathroom. And on the right side, we have two bedrooms. And on the left side, you have two bathrooms. So the house, it's a very small house. Oh, I should also explain. Room number 1 will be the master bedroom. Room number 2 will be the room at the end of the hallway. And room number 3 is this room, the room I'm in now. It's the smallest room. It's no bigger than a walk-in closet. And so I'm really excited about this whole thing because I'm finally going to be able to tell people about what all the haunting and the weird thing. And it's kind of the reason why I believe in God, or at least in the paranormal, because of what's happened in this house. Some of the events are kind of like, oh, that could easily be explained. But a few of them, I feel like I personally experience things that are way too physical and crazy to just chalk it up to being a part of my imagination. So I'm really excited to go into this story. So without further ado, let's begin. I'm going to go over least scariest to scariest, and I'm going to go over the different accounts of my families and our guests, people that have lived here that aren't part of my immediate family. So my brother, he said nothing really happened to him, but he knew something was there because in the closet in row 2, he would always feel like somebody was watching him. If he woke up, he would always see almost like a silhouette or a presence in the bottom left side of room 2. And I'm going to touch back on that bottom left side of the closet when I get to my account. So my brother would always say that he felt like he was being watched. It just creeped him out. He always felt like something wanted to hold him down. And he, whatever, he just pretended it didn't exist, and it never got worse than that. It left him alone. Then my sister-in-law, when she moved in around 2014, she was in the hallway, and she said this happened to her the very first night. She had no idea that we had a ghost. My brother didn't tell her. He didn't think it was important enough to tell her because, most people don't believe in ghosts. So she says, it was crazy. She goes, I'm sleeping. I'm taking a nap in the kitchen, and then I look to the end of the hallway, and I see you, or what I thought was you, because the figure was very tall, but it was dark, and the lights were turned off. So I said, "Hi, George," and nothing happens. She goes, "Hi, George," and then the thing looks at her like this, and she screams, "Ah!" and then it materializes, and she just loses her shit. So she goes and grabs a cross. She starts hanging up crosses, and she said that after that, the only time she ever felt like something was there was when she would shower or change. Same exact thing that my mom would say. And they didn't talk about it because around this time they didn't even like each other, but they both said the same exact things, which I found odd. Then my girlfriend's sister said some weird thing happened to her when she was here on a random night, which is funny because I never told her about the ghost. So I found this really captivating, or really exciting, because I was like, oh, there has to be something here. It's not in my imagination, because I'm rational for the most part. I don't really believe in conspiracies or anything like that. But this thing, my girlfriend's sister says, "Hey, George, while you were out grabbing stuff for the fight night, for the UFC fight night, I thought I saw someone walk into the kitchen." And I walk around from the living room past the fireplace, and I go into the kitchen, and I saw someone standing there, and this person walks in, and she said it felt like it was transparent. The person was transparent, and the thing walks into the cabinet, just fuses with the cabinet, and she screams. And then 2 minutes later, I walk in, and when she tells me, "Hey, I think I just saw a ghost," and I go, "Really? During the day?" I was caught off guard because I go, he doesn't really come out during the day. And she goes, "There's a ghost here?" And I go, "Yeah, his name's Bob, but he's cool. Just leave him alone. He won't do anything to you." And she goes, "Oh, okay." And that was the end of that, which I thought was funny because I remember just being so nonchalant about it. I was like, "Oh yeah, that's a roommate of ours. That's no big deal. Just leave him alone. He's cool. Just chill." a similar story happened like that to me. I was walking out of the hallway. I look to my left and I see someone walk into the kitchen. And around this time, I like to like crouch and sneak up on people and scare them, just around the corner. Well, I see someone walk into the kitchen. I remember looking at the leg because it looked like, I thought it was my brother because he was the only one home. He was in one of the rooms. But I thought, I knew he was in his room. So when I walked out, I was like, oh, he probably walked out of his room and now he's getting a snack. I'm going to scare him. So, but what I noticed was that the leg was big and the person was wearing work boots. Like huge. I didn't see the steel tip, but I imagine that's what the backside of a steel tip work boot looks like. So the person walks into the corner, walks into the kitchen, and when I walk up to sneak, I look in the mirror. This mirror could peer into the kitchen. There's no one there. I walk over, boom, disappeared. Nothing crazy. Just I saw a leg. I saw someone there, and I knew I saw something because why would I try to sneak up on it if I didn't see anything or a shadow or something? It was a leg. I remember specifically a human leg. And then my father, this is where it starts to get a little bit more threatening. My father and my mother had a terrible marriage, and they would always yell and scream at each other. Like, just think of a terrible marriage. That was it. And my dad was very machismo. He was very like misogynist. He's like, your woman's job is to cook and clean, blah, blah, blah. And my mom was like, I'm an American woman. I don't do that. Go back to Mexico. Stuff like that. And I think Bob saw the way that my mom was treated and didn't like my dad. So every single day, my mom would go to work around 7 a.m. She'd be gone. My dad didn't wake up till about 11 a.m. because he works graveyard shifts. So my father, oh, it was crazy. My father said that his clothes were thrown everywhere. They were always thrown on the floor, and he got annoyed. He was like, dude, oh, freaking my mom. He goes, freaking wife, how dare she? So one day it happens, and he's like, I'm so tired of this. This has got to stop. I'm not doing this anymore. Hey, stop throwing stuff. He exclaims to her, please stop throwing my clothes all over the floor. And she goes, what are you talking about? I've never thrown your clothes. And he goes, what do you mean? And she goes, has stuff been happening to you? I feel like we have a presence in the house. He goes, shut up, don't talk about it. Don't talk about it. And she can't do it. She can't help herself. So she's like, oh, bah, 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 bah. And my dad goes, shut up, you're going to make it powerful. He gets annoyed. He tells her stop. She doesn't stop. And he goes, I'm telling you, she says, I'm telling you, something's here. Something scary is there. And blah, blah, blah. And my dad, just fed up, says, please just stop talking. So he said, like, that night, he started to get sleep paralysis. So his clothes stopped getting thrown by Bob. But he says that he would feel someone walk onto the bed, and then he literally would have his body freeze up, and then he felt the weight of the bed, and then something sat on his chest and held him down. But he said it wasn't aggressive. It was just like, I'm going to hold you down for a few minutes, and there's nothing you can do about it. So my dad would beg, please stop, please stop. It didn't stop. So this happened so often, weekly, that he was just fed up. He wasn't getting sleep. Work was getting stressful. And my mom, their marriage was getting worse. It went from a bad marriage to worse. So eventually he got in a really bad fight with my mom. He walks over he goes, you know what? I'm going to go sleep in the garage. I'll be there. He said that was the best night of sleep he's gotten in year, like 2 years since we had moved in. And my mom would say, like, it was good because, like, she said that it was more positive in the room, like everything was cool. And in the in the garage when he slept there, he said he never got sleep paralysis. He never got sleep paralysis before he moved into the house, and he never got it after, which is something that happened to me as well. I got sleep paralysis, but I'll go into that story at the very end. So my father, he said that he would never get it, and it's funny because my whole family moved out and it was just me living in the house, and my dad still wouldn't move in. He says, nah, I get good sleep out there. I don't want to screw with whatever. Also, you listen to music late at night. I don't want to like scream at you. We're going to get in more fights. So my dad goes, I'm going to sleep in the garage. I'm going to stay in the garage. And I think it was over the sleep paralysis. And when I asked him about making this video, he said, yeah, I like living in the garage because nothing fucks with me there, but in the house I wouldn't get sleep, and I don't want to go back to that. I remember just being powerless, and I'm scared if I go in the house, I can bring it to the garage, and then I'll never have a safe haven at this house, and then I'll have to live somewhere else. That's what he said. So that's going to be it for part 1. Thank you for listening. I know that the video ran a little long. It was actually going to be 30 minutes, but now it's just 15. So I'm still learning. Forgive me. The audio quality, I still have to transfer, and it's going to be all messed up. So if you have any comments or opinions, please let me know. I'm learning here, and I'm sure a lot of you know something I don't. So any help would be appreciated. Thank you. Please, I hate doing this, but like and subscribe, and I will greatly appreciate it, and I will be your #1 fan back. Okay, see ya. Bye-bye.